Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back, you guys. Today we got My Hero Academia Season 3, Episode 62, a season for encounters. I thought it said reason. But we are back, you guys. So we'll cover a couple real quick things here, guys. If I look really tired, I apologize, guys. I think I said it, a couple episodes are back. I've been working overnights. I'm on overnights. This is my third straight week on overnights. So it has definitely messed with my sleep schedule 100%, dude. It's my last week on overnight, so I get back to days starting next week. So I am very excited to get back on days. Working overnights is great, but the problem is that like anytime I have days off, it definitely messes with like my whole sleep schedule, my idea of what I do on my day off. Because when I'm on days and I have a day off, I'm usually up by like 6:45, 6:30, somewhere in that range. Because I like to, I get my kids up for school. We get them off to the bus, and by the time they're on the bus at 7:15, I'm usually like, all right, quick breakfast, and by 8:30, I am usually downstairs in the studio, and then I start recording. Well, doesn't work that way right now because I try to get up and get the kids off to school, and then literally by the time I get them off to school, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take another quick nap, just because by the time I get home from school, or from school, by the time I get home from work, it's usually 6 a.m. So, yeah, by the time I'm getting them off school, it's like I'm actually going to sleep. So then I sleep all the way until basically 3, and then my kids get home from school at 3:30. So it's like, man, it's just like, yeah, it's crazy work, dude. And then my whole workout schedule's been jacked up, dude. Like last week, I only worked out 3 times out of the 7 days a week, and the week before it was only 2, dude. Like, man, it has messed with my whole entire schedule entirely, dude. Like, I'm telling you guys, man, like I feel so fat and bloated, dude, just because of like worked out so little in these last 2 weeks, it feels like. And then going into this week, like today, I had planned on being like, all right, I'm gonna get up, man. I'm gonna go get my workout done. I'm gonna get my recordings done. Nah, dude, I ended up sleeping literally all day today. And I literally woke up like 25 minutes ago, and I was like, all right, dude, I gotta go get an episode recorded real quick. So that's why I'm here right now. So that's why I said, if I look really sleepy, that is why, man. These overnights are absolutely just killing me right now. But like I said, I'm on my last week, so I got 4 more days right now of overnights, and then I am got 2 days off to kind of recover, and then I'm back on days. So I am very excited to get back on days, that I can kind of get back to my normal recording schedule, and I can actually pump out more content ahead of schedule. Because right now I've been only staying a week ahead on Patreon, and I'd like to try to get to the point where I'm 2 weeks ahead at all times for all my Patreon members. So, but anyways, guys, enough with all that. Like I said, we're all down to the last week, so we're gonna push through this. So, but anyways, real fast, guys, if you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button. We'd love to have you guys join us here and join our community. Um, and we also have Patreon. Kind of as I mentioned earlier, Patreon, guys, we try to stay at least 2 weeks out. Lately, I've only been a week out. Again, just my whole sleep schedule's been jacked up, and it has really ruined my whole workout and my whole recording schedule. So, but anyways, we are still a week out. We've stayed a week out over on Patreon, guys. So feel free to join us over there. It is free currently. There are other options if you choose to support the channel. So, but again, that is 100% your choice. So, with all that being said, guys, let's get into this, man. This My Hero Academia Season 3, Episode 62. Last episode, guys, we did watch an insane episode, dude. We watched Bakugo and freaking Kachan fight each other, all so they could finally understand each other as true rivals. And I love that whole thing. That the episode was absolutely amazing, man. Like if you haven't watched that one, man, you make sure you go check that one out. That was a beautiful episode. I love the content that was in it, man. The ability the conversation we were able to have about it all was great. So absolutely loved it. Now the question is, where do we go from here? Let's find out. Who's this? Whoever it is, they're smoking.
Having a good sense of who you are is one of the most important things in life. Look at all those happy people on their way to work. Makes me sick.
Nah, they're freaking great.
They think they're such good, decent citizens. And what about me? I'm doing the same thing I do every day.
You're doing something special.
I'm staring out my window.
Who is this guy? And is he like talking to himself in his head?
And then the fun begins.
2 weeks since All Might fought All for One in Camino Ward, and then retired. It's the only thing anyone's talking about. Media's trying to scare people by stirring up unease.
However, despite All Might's retirement, we haven't seen many big changes in everyday life. We should be looking ahead of all this. This is a time to investigate. How will villains act, and what are our countermeasures?
How do you think
You're different, though, Mr. Miyagi. I approve of you.
Gross. I
The fact of the
don't.
matter is that All Might simply got too big. He was
Is
such
his
an
quirk that he can, like, talk to
all-encompassing
himself?
symbol that
I'm
his
so
existence was an
confused.
impossibility.
The biggest change for regular folks is the new #1. Endeavor. Not quite the same as All Might, so the public is focusing their fear on him, waiting to see how he'll act. Not surprising. He's not the type that everyone loves. Yeah, he's not really a cuddly person. More like an average guy pretending to play the hero.
He is a superhero.
Through circumstances beyond his control, he's inherited a
Endeavor
role that
scary,
he's
Endeavor
totally
cool,
unsuited
Endeavor
for.
kids.
Poor bastard. Now he's a symbol of the weakening heroes.
Although Endeavor has resolved a number of large
Oh.
cases,
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That actually hit the way he said that. He said that he was saying, "Man, I feel bad for the guy because he wanted to be the #1 hero, right? He wanted to represent greatness as the #1, but instead he represents the how did he phrase it? He said something about like the fall of the heroes or something. He's
Control, he's inherited a role that he's totally unsuited for. Poor bastard. Now he's a symbol of the weakening heroes.
now he's just a symbol of the weakening heroes. I like the metaphor and the way that he put that in perspective like that. I'm not sure who this guy is, but man, he's kind of talking right now, dude.
although Endeavor has resolved a number of large cases, he's got a temper and has gone overboard many times. Also, weep-old males between the ages of 20 and 40, they do not like him. He's just no replacement. This is a prime example of why those of us in the media should stop reporting negatively about pro heroes and actively raise excitement for them.
Yeah, constantly going on the media
The
and being
man
like, "Oh
knows
yeah,
what
we
he's
do not
talking
like
about.
Endeavor. It's not
Physical
going to
power
help."
isn't the only
at
thing
all.
that weakens. The heart does as well.
Nah, it's all about power.
Shut up! Leave me alone!
Yeah,
I
dude
am
definitely
here.
has
That's what he said when he saved
voices in his
people's
head,
lives.
or a voice in his
For any
head.
regular Joe, that was reassuring. But for people like me, it was nothing short of a curse.
You're through, villain! Your life of crime ends here!
But this
I love
part
his pirate
is
accent.
gonna be
Your
slightly
life of
different.
crime is here. Oh damn! Who was that?
Hurry up!
Look at this idiot! He brought the whole counter!
Too bad for you, hero.
He's not some two-bit robber! We're a team!
What's up, Garen? How you been doing lately?
Long time no talk. I trust that you've been all right.
Oh, this is the guy who's been like working a little bit with Shigaraki's group.
I see. That is a tough break.
You didn't answer my question. Are you okay? Tell me.
Yeah, sure I am. I've been so busy I'm crying with delight. These past few weeks, there's been a monumental surge in the black market. Everyone's looking for suits or support items. Demand couldn't be any better, my friend. And of course, the League of Villains are the darlings of the hour.
Well, that's nice to hear. No, it's not. Shut up! Damn it! So, why are you calling me? I'm a busy man, you know. I've got nothing to do.
I couldn't get a hold of Dabi. Any idea where he is? Shigaraki wants everyone to have a quick meetup. I'm sure he'll be contacting you soon.
I know where he is. No, I don't. You can't keep pulling this crap.
Right. Okay, then. Caught you at a bad time. Take care of yourself, huh?
Damn
So whoever it is, he definitely knows
I'm
Dobby.
in control. The League of Villains is currently scattered across different locations to get the police off our backs.
Keep looking at me like that and I'll kill you!
Pity. You're not what we need.
Bam!
Stay down. You make good fuel. Allow my flames to consume you.
This is no good. I need to bind
Is it weird to say?
myself
I
together.
kind of think
I'm gonna
Dobby is
tear
pretty
apart.
cool. I like his character. I just like his design and his power. and
Split in
everything.
two.
Oh!
Want some rap?
Oh my gosh. Now it makes sense. This is the dude was back. Okay, now I understand it. Now I'm understanding what's happening here.
Wrapped up, I'm whole. Here's a story. I used to be one of those guys who like to cause trouble. My quirk is called Twice. It's a simple power that turns one thing into two. I can make a clone of myself,
Yep,
and then
or
make
anybody
clones from
else.
that clone. An entire gang of just me. I made my clones do everything. I was a king ruling over them. But the other me's weren't satisfied with that, and they put together a little coup. I was almost killed by myself. The things I make don't
Damn.
disappear until they've taken some serious damage. Before long, all of us were arguing with each other, each one of us thinking we were actually the real me. This absurd self-mutilation continued for 9 days. Can you imagine that? In the end, they killed each other and disappeared. All gone. Ever since then, I haven't been sure that I'm the real me. How could I be after all the madness?
Jeez,
And
that's
there's no place in the world where crazy people can belong. Heroes only care about saving good citizens. But the League accepted me as I am, problems and all. And I'd like to think I'm okay with who I am too.
This big a gang? They should have shot for a loftier goal.
Who's this
You
guy?
guys aren't well. What you need is a cure.
We got the money. We should skedaddle before any heroes get here, yeah? Overhaul.
They're all
Overall?
sick. Every last one of them.
But the biggest wackos have stopped searching for a place to belong and created their own. Both the hero side and our side have started changing in unexpected ways. Still, what's important is knowing who you truly are, what you want to become, what you want to do. Yes, that's very important. So, what should I do?
Okay, real quick, we're gonna pause and talk about that real fast. I love the like different perspective that we're getting on this whole entire episode. That we are seeing things through kind of the villain's eyes, but this guy's eyes in particular, because of he was such an unknown character to us back in like the forest arc, where he was just kind of there, and everyone I kept trying like. I was like, who is this guy? Like, what is his ability? And then we kind of slowly learned he can, you know, duplicate himself, or he could duplicate others because he made a duplicate of Dobby and whatnot. But we didn't even know who he was because we're like, okay, he was just another guy there. So I think it's really cool that we're seeing things from his perspective. I love how he's telling this story too, because he sounds like a villain with complications. And him in particular, like his particular situation is also interesting because of, I love how he's kind of like his whole personal story where he's like, hey, he has the ability to make clones, but he ended up making all these clones. And now all of a sudden he's in a point where he doesn't even know who he is. Is he real? Is he the real version of himself? You know, and all that. Like, that's got to be tough to live with. And it kind of explains his whole, like, he's hearing voices and whatnot. And like his whole, like, crazy is not the right word because I don't want to phrase it as crazy, right? Because I don't know that I would declare him as crazy. He's just got he doesn't know who he is. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of misunderstanding. There's a lot of unknown to himself about himself, and that can cause, I feel like, a lack of personality, a lack of understanding, and whatnot. And so I don't know. I really enjoyed that. And then his way of telling about how the world is changing from his perspective, and from, you know, your everyday citizen's perspective, and that you can feel that change. Midoriya under house
Hardly any
arrest.
pain or weird sensations.
In other words, if you sustain this type of injury, even just 2 or 3 more times, I don't think you're going to be able to move your arms anymore.
I was really careful to hold back when I threw a punch against Kachan yesterday. But when I'm not fully under control of my emotions, I should be extra careful to not use my arms. Instead, I'll concentrate on my shoot style.
Listen up, everyone! Stay in line and move promptly into position. I want to see order!
You're the only one who's not in line.
The dilemma of a class rep. I heard a little rumor about Class 1A. 2 people! You had 2 people fail the licensing exam, you losers!
Monoma from Class B.
He's just as unhinged as usual.
Bet you were the only one in your class to fail. Just like in the final, huh?
That wasn't an answer. Actually, every one of us passed. Our apologies. Come on, everyone. Save your chit-chat for later. We're clogging up the hallways.
Oh, what's his name again?
I honestly can't believe how uncool you are. Shinso.
Oh, right, the guy who
Shinso.
fought Midoriya at the sports festival.
You sure that's the same guy? Looks like he's
100%
bulked up a
that's the
bit
same guy,
since
dude.
then.
He probably worked on a physical fighting because that was where his lack of ability was
It's
at.
the adorable small mammal you all know and love, the principal. Disturbances in your normal resting patterns are terrible for your hair. So if you want to improve your fur strength
Is
and
this
speed,
really
make
important
sure
right
you're
now?
getting plenty
Please
of
tell me
hours
he's
in bed.
almost done.
My own sleep cycle.
He's over here giving a preach about make sure that you are getting on your normal sleep cycle or it'll ruin your hair. Meanwhile, I'm over here way off a sleep cycle, working overnights. My sleep's all over the place. And literally my hair is like the one thing that I am like, what's the word I'm looking for? Subconscious about, self-conscious about. I'm very self-conscious about my hair because I feel like my hair's receded, especially my hairline, and my hair was starting to fall out, which is why I grew it long the way that I have it, because I'm scared that if I were to not have long hair, I would probably look like I'm balding major. And I am probably balding. But him saying this on my sleep schedule just makes me feel great, man. Thanks, principal.
Has been upset by the incidents that took place over summer vacation, which I'm sure everyone here knows about already. We lost a pillar of hope, the ramifications of which have appeared faster than I could have ever imagined. And there will likely be even more chaos throughout our world in the near future. In particular, this will be most apparent to those of you studying in the Hero course. You must approach extracurricular activities, like the Hero work studies available to second and third years, with a greater sense of caution and attentiveness than before. I'd like all of you to learn from their diligence and remember that hard work will help you develop into capable heroes, whether Hero course, support, business, or general studies. I don't want any of you to forget that you're the ones who will inherit our society.
Well spoken. Thank you, Principal Nezu. Now we'll hear from the extracurricular guidance teacher. Please give Mr. Hound Dog your attention.
Mr. Hound Dog? You ain't nothing but a hound dog. What?
Right. As you just heard, there were students fighting last night. I know you're not used to life in the dorms, but let's all be a little more respectful moving forward.
I know a lot has happened recently. However, you need to switch gears and focus on your school duties.
I don't feel like we've been
We're
back in
lecturing
class in
today,
a long
but this
time,
semester
dude.
you'll have even harsher training than before.
He can't mean that, right?
Like to share, Ashido?
His icy stare is back! Excuse me, sir. May I ask a question? What were those things the principal was talking about during the opening ceremonies? I've never heard the term hero work studies before.
I know, right? That had me pretty confused, too.
I also have concerns.
He said there's something the upperclassmen participate in, correct?
I was planning to talk more about those at a later date, but I guess telling you now is more logical. To put it simply, it's work outside of class. Like the internships you did at pro-hero agencies before.
So they were right.
Only closer to
Similar
the
to
real
that.
thing.
Huh. I never heard about these. Wait, then why do we work so hard at the Sports Fest?
She has a point. If we have work studies, those who weren't scouted at the sports festival still have career paths.
You gotta calm down. You're acting kinda nuts, though.
This doesn't make sense!
You'll be using your connections from the festival to secure a work study. It's basic networking. This isn't part of your normal classwork. It's discretionary for each student. That means those who weren't scouted at the sports festival will have a hard time lining one up, I'm afraid. We'll explain more about the work-study positions and what that program entails at a later date. But for now, we've got other things to worry about. That's all. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mike.
First period is English! In other words, it's jam time! Been an age since I stood on this stage, you miss
Oh,
me?
dude, English sucks. I
We've
hate
got a lot
English
to
so
cover
bad.
today. Let's get rolling with it, you dig?
Definitely the worst subject in all of school, dude. Freaking hated English.
Excuse me, but what if with this dust ago?
Decker was supposed to do that! Shut up! Hey, can't you even clean something right, you idiot?
Sorry!
Man, I'm so beat.
Hey guys, if you put your trash in the halls, I'll take everything down in a second.
In just one day, I've been completely left behind. That's what you're thinking, right, house arrest?
Hey, don't call me that, it's mean!
House
Ida,
arrest.
what's a work study?
Something I can't tell you about. The teachers have forbidden us from giving you any details about our classes. Sorry, but you'll just have to experience the same shock and surprise we went through. Did you catch that, Bakugo? Shut your mouth! I heard you, Four Eyes!
That's still, why do they want them to
What
have
is a
no
work study?
information?
I'm clearly being left behind. I know it's just the start of the semester, but these 3 days of house arrest are gonna hit me really hard. There's hero basic training tomorrow. Everyone's gonna be learning new stuff while I'm stuck hanging out in my room. I hate this. I'm falling behind. I can't slow down now.
What the heck is that?
Trash, am I right? What are you doing? You know you can just throw away the food trays with the burnables, don't you?
Yeah.
There must be that blonde guy that we were seeing earlier.
Am I going insane? What was that?
So you must be that excitable first year, aren't you? I bet that was a freaky surprise for you. Kinda sorry about that. Gotta admit, I did pop up here because I thought you'd be shocked, though.
What in the world are you?
Not a bad question there, my friend. I admit, sometimes I even weird myself out. You know, once in a blue moon. But don't worry, you're gonna find out who I am soon enough. I'm just glad it looks like you've got a fighting spirit.
Morning. Now that Midoriya is back, we'll go into more detail about what the work studies entail. Go ahead and come in. I'll have people who've experienced them firsthand explain.
Oh, this must be the guy.
I suggest you listen carefully as they point out how work studies differ from internships. These three are third years at UA. They rank at the very top of our student body. You may know them as the Big Three.
The Big Three? Why have we never heard this before?
It's him.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was about to end, dude. Let me make sure there's no post-credit scenes. There's usually not when there's only this little bit of time left. Okay, there's no post-credit scenes. But yeah, how have we never heard of the Big Three before? I feel like if they were this big of a Big Three, we would have like at least heard the name before, but whatever. I guess they are the top of the student body class. How many years do you get at UA? Is it 4? Is it like high school? You get, you know, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior? Is it 4 years at UA? Is that kind of how they do this whole program or stuff like that? I don't know. If anybody knows that answer without, if it leads to no spoilers, let me know in the comments below. How does the years work as far as UA go? Like 4-year, 3-year, 5-year? What exactly is the tenureship look like at UA? So, but okay, so we got the Big Three that are about to tell us about how this whole hero work stuff works and how we're supposed to go about it. Obviously, if you were scouted, it's a lot easier for you to get into this program versus not, because they keep making out like it's kind of like a school program, but it's not really. It's more like an after-school program. It's kind of like an extracurricular thing that you can do. It's optional type of a thing. You don't have to do it, but you can, and it'll only help you in the long run or something like that. So, okay. I feel like we had more questions than we did answers coming into this episode, but I actually like the way the episode was set up, man. Like I said, I like the first half, how it was kind of like the perspective of the villains, and especially from the perspective of the guy that we didn't know a ton about. So we got to see more about him, so we understand his character a lot more and who he is. And then the flip on going back to our normal everyday lives of now we're back in class. We're kind of back into our regular everyday thing that we were at, you know, at the beginning of season 1 or throughout most of season 1 and half of season 2. So sweet, man. I appreciate y'all for joining us, guys. We'll catch you guys in the next episode of My Hero Academia, or we'll catch you on Bleach on Friday, man. Deuces.